And in El Paso, the city's mayor says hundreds of migrants are still crossing the border every day. El Paso is still struggling to do what it can to help the new arrivals. With us now from El Paso, Fernando Garcia. He's been helping migrants at the border. He is the executive director of the human rights advocacy and immigration reform organization, Border Network for Human Rights. Fernando, thank you for being with us this morning. What's the situation on the ground in El Paso right now?
Jose, good morning. We still have what we call a humanitarian crisis. We had hundreds of migrants, refugees, children, women in the streets of El Paso, especially in downtown. And as you know, El Paso there's extreme weather in freezing conditions. So we are very concerned about the situation of these families. We're trying to do whatever we can to try to take them to warming centers where they will have more support. But right now, we still have many of them in the streets of downtown El Paso.
And these are men, women, and little children. Fernando, why is it, and I asked the Mayor Alicia this yesterday, why is it that so many folks are deciding to stay in the streets near the bus terminal, sometimes at the airport, et cetera, and not go into these shelters? What's the fear that is driving them to stay away?
Well, there's two things, and there's two set of immigrants that we have in downtown street, in sidewalks in El Paso. One of them are the ones that are being processed by Border Patrol, so they've been given a piece of paper. But also a good amount of them, they had not been processed. They just came across downtown massively, and now they do not receive institutional support. Like, for example, the FEMA funds for opening these centers by the city of El Paso, they do not accept members or immigrants that do not have documents. So many of them, they don't have an option by just staying in the streets. And the other reason is that many of them are afraid of some enforcement action. They don't want to be expelled or deported. So there's a big level of distrust on the institutions, especially from these immigrants that have been deported before.
And Fernando, what do you make of the president's visit to El Paso, the first time he visits the border as president? I don't think he visited the border as vice president either. But what do you make of that visit, and what would you like for him to know?
Listen, it was less than 3 hours, or about 3 hours. And I don't believe that is enough time to have a substantial visit. He did not meet with migrants. He did not go to downtown El Paso, where to see the situation of these families in the streets of El Paso. And also, I think he knows that we are very critical of his announcement early in the week about the expansion of the Title 42, which this is something that we've been opposing because this is more a racist anti-immigrant provision being implemented by Trump administration, which, by the way, Biden at some point opposed Title 42, but now he's expanding it to Cubans, Haitians, Nicaraguans, and obviously Venezuelans. So that means that he's set up to deport thousands of people to Mexico. So I think there's a big level of frustration that he's doing that, but also the fact that he didn't meet with key stakeholders and community members.
And Fernando, what is it that you want us to know about those men, women, and children that are crossing the border, that have taken just hell trips to get to the opportunity to ask for asylum? What do you want us to know about them?
Well, there's two things. One of them is that obviously the situation, the practical situation that they are in the streets in freezing temperatures, and they don't have an option. They don't have where to go. So I think we need urgent humanitarian support and urgent humanitarian infrastructure at the border that we don't have. I mean, local organizations, faith-based organizations cannot do this systemically in the long run. But secondly, I mean, we need to know that that they are in the limbo. I mean, they are supposed to be expelled under new guidelines. So I think we are asking President Biden to give them a pathway, a solution, especially the ones that are already in the United States.
Fernando Garcia, I thank you so much for being with us. Thank you for everything you do. I really appreciate your time.